Hello and welcome to my Wiremod tutorial on creating a smoke grenade. Right, well first of all, I've got my plate here, and we're just going to start off with a speedometer. You don't want split XYZ on. I'm just going to place that up the top. And then this first method I'm going to do without using the expression gate, just using chips. So I'm first of all going to take the delta of my speedometer. I'm just going to wire up the A of my delta to my speedometer's output, which is basically because if this is falling, then the speedometer would be like at 50, and then when it hits the floor it's going to change, and the delta would output minus 50, and then 0. So, right. Now what I'm going to do is, because we're working in minuses, I'm going to have to use a less than, or less or equal to compare. So I'm going to put that there, and just put in a constant value with one value of, let's say, minus 30 for now. We can increase it if we need to. So this is basically going to check if our delta is less than minus 30. Just wire that up. Okay, now what we need to do is we're going to have basically this will output 1 when the delta is less than minus 30, and we want that to start a timer, but we need to use a toggle gate because this will output a 0 the second, like instantly afterwards, because this delta will go down to 0 and then that will turn off our timer. So I'm just going to come down to memory gates, toggle, edge triggered, just stick it. I'm going to put this down there, and I'm going to add some values to our constant value. I'm going to change this to 3, and I've already set my values to 0 and 1 for our on and off values. Let me just wire up our on value to 0 and our off value. I'm just doing it this way because it starts on the on value. I wanted the off value to be 1. Sorry. Yep. Okay, now we obviously want this to change, but we want to be able to change it ourselves, because once our timer has reached however long we want the smoke to be emitting for, we want to change it back. So we're going to use a logic gate or any. What this gate does is basically takes two inputs that are 0 or 1, and if either of those inputs is 1, the output's 1. So if you've got two buttons, then one's at 1 and one's at 0, it'll output 1. So I'm just going to stick that there, and then take our clock input from that. Clock will toggle between the on and off value. Then we're going to take the A of our or any from the less or equal, and the B will come later. So I'm going to go up to time gates, choose timer, put that down here, and take our run from our toggle. And I'm going to come down and go to greater than. Just going to put this here and make another constant value so that the wiring's not all over the place. With one value of, let's say, 5 seconds. Put that down there. I'm going to wire up the A value of our greater than to our timer, and the B value of our greater than to our constant value. So this is going to be checking whether the timer's over 5, and then when it is, it'll output 1. So now I'm going to wire up our reset to the greater than. So no, not the run. Run, go back to there. The reset up to the greater than, so when it gets to 5 it will reset. And also our or any is B to this. So when so this will toggle either when the delta is greater than less than minus 30, or when the timer is above 5. And now all I'm going to use is a thruster with 0 force multiplier and the effect of smoke. I'll just stick that there, and then just wire this to our Yeah, 2 hour. Toggle edge triggered. Now you see, you limit smoke for 5 seconds and then stop. And you see if I move it slowly, well, I'm going to increase that speed actually to like minus. Actually, just let me get out my debugger and check the delta so I know what sort of speed I need. Well, that changed. I can probably use like minus 200. So I'm going to use, I need to go back to 3 values. Minus 300, 200, just in case. Just replace our constant value. Needs to get quite a good, yeah. And then it will limit smoke for 5 seconds, and then stop. And you can obviously add more thrusters or change that. You can probably optimize your constant value a bit more, and obviously the amount of time that it will take. So now I'm going to show you the second method of doing it using the expression, which should clear up a lot of these gates. Okay, I'm just going to create another Felix props panel, just move it over here. I'm going to quickly add the exact same things, speedo. And I like using separate deltas from everything else just because I'm weird. A delta. Okay, and I should already have an expression here for this. Smoke node zap. Yep. Edit expression. Yep. Okay, so what we've got here is sorry, let me sort this out, make sure it works. We've got our inputs from our delta and our timer, so the timer is also separate, and I'll end that gate afterwards. And for outputs we've got thrust, which is our thruster, and T-start and T-reset, which are the timer start and the timer reset, which go to the timer. So first of all, saying, now if you don't actually need to add the if, but it's just a habit I have, and I prefer it really. So we're saying, if our delta is less than minus, well, I was using minus, I'll try 100. This 200 is a bit much. This is doing the exact same as the less than gate. Then the started equals 1. Now this is doing basically the same as our toggle gate was doing. So when this is less than 100, then this is set to 1. And this will only be set to 0 when I want it to. And we're saying if started is equal to 1, which is what the double equal sign signifies, then the timer start equals 1 and thrust equals 1. So our thrust is going and our timer is going. And we're saying if the timer is greater than 10, so I'm going to just keep this at 5 seconds so it doesn't take too long, then turn the thruster off, then turn started off so it doesn't turn the timer and thruster back on. Timer start on, and timer reset is set to 1, and then if timer equals 0, then timer reset equals 0. It's just to ensure that like timer reset is reset to 0 when the timer is 0. Save it, validate this, stick the expression there, come down to gate, timer, just put that there, gonna wire up, AF my delta to this, delta to this, timer to my timer, gonna wire up, run to T-start, reset to T-reset, and then we just need a thruster, kind of 2, just to make it look cooler. Oops. Just wire up. AF the thrusters to thrust, to thrust, and then drop it. There we go. They're both pretty simple. This one might take a little bit longer to wire, but that's the way of creating a smoke grenade. Have fun.